One of the newer features in Google Classroom is the use of rubrics. So I'm going to go to the Classwork tab and go in and edit one of the assignments I've already created. Now you don't have to edit an existing assignment. You'll see this if you're creating a new assignment. On the right-hand corner, you'll see Rubric. I'm going to click Add Rubric. Now you'll notice that you have the ability to create a new rubric, reuse one that you've used before, or import one that you've saved in Sheets. So if you have one you've made in another tool and you have it in a Sheets format, you can import it that way. But I'm going to go to Create. So what it does with the rubric is it gives it the title of the assignment. My assignment was called Chapter 1 Reflection. You have the ability to use scoring or not. I'm going to use scoring. You also can sort your order of points by ascending or descending. So I'm going to start here. So for criterion, what is it that you're going to be evaluating? So in this, I'm going to put conventions. So I'm going to see how well they did with capitals, periods, grammar, that sort of thing. So I'm going to write a description for what conventions means. And so here I can decide how many levels I would like inside this rubric. And I want you to notice right now there's only one. But if I add some levels, then in a little bit you're going to see that that increases. So for 1 point, I'm going to say this is level 2, this is level 3, and this is level 4. So basically they're either going to get 1 to 4 points. So on my level 1, I'm going to say the title of this level is below grade level. And I can describe exactly what that means. That maybe means no capitalization, punctuation, or grammar. So you can put the description there. Level 2 is needs support. Maybe level 3 is at grade level. And maybe 4 is exceeds expectations. And you can put descriptions for each of these levels. So you'll see this is descending. I can change it to ascending and it will change that. So it just depends on what you want. So this is one element. So then I can add another criterion and I can keep adding that till I get my rubric the way that I want it. When your rubric is complete, you're going to click the Save button and it's going to be attached to your assignment. Now I just quickly went through that one to show you how to do it. But what I'm going to do is delete that and I'm going to actually reuse one that I've already created. Now you'll notice that it has me select the class. So I actually can go and find the class that I was using that I created one in. So now that I've found the class in which I have a rubric I'd like to use, as you can see I have several rubrics here and they're all titled what the assignment was. So I'm going to reuse this one that I used called Writing Assignment. That's a 3 criteria and it has 12 points. So I can click Select and that rubric is now assigned to this assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save, and that's the teacher view, and I'm going to take us to the student view. So when the student comes to an assignment that has a rubric attached, the rubric will appear right under the directions and before any resources. So the student can click on the rubric and they will see it in its proper format, how many points and what each of those elements means. And after I've graded it using the rubric, they'll be able to see their score. So I'm going to close this for now and go back to teacher view. So here's the teacher view. And so I'm going to this assignment for this student. And now that I have the assignment open and I'm chosen to use a rubric, you'll see the elements of the rubric are down to the side. So in each of the rubric, this is grading on the element of teamwork, and let's say they had to write this as a team, and maybe I felt like that was a 2, and it was just kind of needing some support. So I can actually click the box. I don't even have to type in the field. I can just click the box as a teacher. For conventions, we're going to say that really needs some work, but the content was great. So that gives me a potential score for my student because I've graded it on the rubric. So I'm going to go ahead and return this to the student. And then we're going to go back to the student view. So when the student receives their grade, I can click on View Assignment. And now as the student, I can see exactly the scores that were placed on my rubric and the overall score. And I see this on the individual page for that assignment. So this is a great way to give students a way to measure what it is they're going to do. Now, after they've turned their document in and they want to see more about that, they can open up each of these elements. If they couldn't remember now exactly what did I do to get a 2, why didn't I get a 3, then I can go through and I can read each of those individual levels. So they're collapsed until you open them up. But that makes it a super easy way for you to grade, but it also makes it easy for students to determine what it is going to take for them to make an acceptable grade. So that is using the new rubric piece of Google Classroom.